Okay. Hi, I'm Peter Rose, founder of Longwood Currency Trading. What's the work that we need to do prior to taking our Forex trading or getting ready for the Forex trading day? There's a lot of folks that talk about, oh, the night before we have to do this, that, and the other thing, and then right before we trade, we've got to survey the market and see what's going on. Let me use this here as an example. That's my wood pile, or a part of it. Here's the other part. Between this and the stuff over here, that's about 8 cord. And that's more than enough for what I need for the winter. But that's part of my pre-planning for the winter. This is all taken care of pretty much last year. Well, not really last year, but in the very early spring, I ordered the wood that I would need for the year based on the amount of wood that I used last year, and then giving me a little bit of buffer. So there was a little bit of that basic planning. It's like, you know, you're getting ready to go out to work for the day, so you got to make sure that you got your shoes on and you're taking a crap before you go and all that kind of stuff, right? But that's not really planning, right? That's just setting the stage and doing normal stuff. So what if I would have measured, you know, a wood is 8 feet by 4 feet high and a couple of feet wide. That'll give you a cord of wood. So what do? Do I come out here and measure this area exactly, count the number of pieces of wood that are across there, get an average daily burn rate for the number of logs I need, calculate the number of logs I need and the space that will take up, and go through all that? Do I do that? No. Does anybody do that? No. Why? Because you just do it. You know, you say, I'm going to need 4.5, 5 cord of wood to take care of the house this winter, and here's a spot that's big enough. And you order the wood and you drop it, and that's it, and you're done. So then you get into the winter when you're going to start burning the wood. What do you need to do? What sort of planning do you need to do? You come out here to the wood pile, you grab a couple of armfuls of wood, and you haul it into the wood stove. Or if you're like me, I've got a couple of metal racks, 4 foot long by 4 foot high, so and just 1 level deep, so that you don't have to come out into the snow and all that shit. You can stack 1/8 of a cord of wood on the inside of the house. And if you watched my videos before, you've seen those stacks of wood. That's planning, but that's not done 15 minutes before I need the wood. Right now, we're in the early part of October of 2025, just for historical purposes. So we're not quite ready for worrying about it snowing. It won't be snowing now for another month, probably. We might get a dusting. I live in the Lakes region in New Hampshire right now, and so it's really beautiful. In fact, you can see the colors on the leaves just now beginning to turn, and it's going to be really pretty. This weekend we're going up. This is the 3rd of October. You won't be seeing this until about a week later, but this weekend we'll be going up to the White Mountains of New Hampshire with my son and his wife, and going to a lovely inn that I've been going to for 40 years actually, and it's just spectacularly beautiful. And what did we do to plan that? We made the room reservations and we're going to just make sure that the gas tank's full. That's all we got to do. So I carry the wood in. It'll be, well, I don't pull in the lawn furniture and clear off the porch until the end of boating season, because I had a boat and when I lived on the water, and so boating season was April 15 to October 15 is the season up here. It's shorter the further north you go, but so until the middle of October, I don't start clearing off the porch or doing that sort of stuff. But around that time, some of this wood that's here is going to end up in the porch on those metal racks, so that when I want to start a fire, and I have another small firebox inside the house that holds about 10 or 12 pieces of wood, and that'll take me through the day. So at the end of the day, I'll load more wood into there. So it's all figured out, and I don't have it figured out. I don't have to plan for it. It's just 8 years of carrying wood in, and you go, this amount of wood's going to burn for the day. And so, Peter, what does this have to do with trading? It has everything to do with trading. I'm sorry I went through my cordwood thing, but I'm excited about it. I'm a city boy, grew up in Chicago, so get out here in the mountains, in the woods, it's exciting. As far as trading goes, though, what's the story on the trading? What correlation does that have? If you're trading stocks, then you better be really working hard the night before. In fact, you're working all day doing studies, doing analysis, running fundamental analysis, looking at technicals and all that other kind of stuff. If you're trading stocks, you're spending a lot of time doing that for no more edge, really, than you would pitching quarters, unless you're a professional. Or you're trading penny stocks and just scalping your way through and running like that. That reduces the amount of work that you have to do. But it's still a tremendous amount of work, even for the penny stock guys. In currencies, there is no preparatory work. Why? It's because the market is too big. The stock market, Peter, that's really big, but you're still saying that we need to do fundamental analysis over that. Sure, you have to do fundamental analysis over all that, because you have, 6,000 different stocks that you can pick from, and then you've got all the mutual funds and index funds and derivatives that you can trade. Each one of those stocks is in some particular kind of industry group that has different accounting principles than another industry group. Do you think the accounting principles for airlines are the same as somebody who's running a plumbing company? I don't think so. There are certain rules, depreciation, cost carry forwards, and all that other kind of stuff. So every industry group is different. So if you're trading different industry group stocks, you've got all this work that you need to do. It's really a lot of work. In currencies, it's inordinately more complex than that, because you're dealing with the economies of two countries, not just the economy of one country. God knows it's hard enough to say, well, what's the NFP going to do to the general person that's going to the store to buy groceries for their house? What's that going to do, that non-farm payroll? How's that going to affect the prices that I'm going to have to pay in the store? What's the producer price index, or the new housing starts, or what are all those indicators that are going on just to manage my life in one country? And then you're going to trade the differential between the economies of those two countries. You're going to have to become a macroeconomist with specialty in the two countries that you're trading, if you follow the plan that the stock market requires of you. But that's so complex that you will never be able to compete with the brokerage houses, the hedge funds, the institutional traders, the bank traders. You'll never be able to keep up with them. They have a whole floor of hundreds of PhDs in all kinds of disciplines, rocket science guys and chemists and everything, specialists in all that stuff. And they get together and they form their reports, and they release those reports to their traders and their traders are basing on their own information on the particular currency that they're trading. You might have a dollar desk, you might have a yen desk, and they're doing it that way. So they have to do it because they're trading for a different purpose. They need to be sensitive to all that stuff because their clients are going to come in and go, look, Bob, I want to buy $2 billion worth of dollars and sell $2 billion equivalent of yen because we need to buy these engine parts from the U.S. So what's going on in the U.S. right now that you can get me the best price, a low price for the dollars that I'm needing to buy, and get me the best price for the yen that I got to sell. So those traders are trading for their clients, and their clients are putting the requests in for their needs in their business. So that's the planning that those guys do, and it's relatively easy because they've got this linear process that they're going through. As a retail trader, we don't have to worry about any of that. When we look at the screen in the morning, we don't have to look at that and go, oh my God, I wonder what the purchasing manager's index is, because that'll indicate whether Boeing is going to be doing X, Y, Z in comparison to the guy that's using Boeing parts in Bangladesh or something. Why? You look at the chart, and the chart tells you what the order flow is. The order flow is based on the institutional orders that they're executing on behalf of their client. As I say in almost every video, we're not the dog in this. The institutional traders are the dog. We're just the tail. So we have to learn how not to be a dog. And if you want to be a dog, then you're going to have to learn all the stuff that all those people learn, and it is impossible to do so. And because it is impossible or inordinately difficult, we don't do it. Okay, then how do you trade? You open up your trading platform and you look at what price action is doing, where you have congestion areas that have built up due to the clients of these institutional traders saying, I am not going to pay any more for my dollars than this. So whatever you got to do, I'm not going to work with you unless you get this value for the dollars that I got to buy. I'm not paying any more for them. And that's what's causing the squiggly line on the chart. Do you need to understand and worry about any of that? No. If you hear a clanking sound in your car, do you need to worry about that? How to fix it? What needs to be done? No, it's a clanking sound, and you know that that's probably not a good thing. And so you drive the car to your service station, your garage, and they look at it, and it's their job to fix it. So you're looking at the chart and you're seeing all this go on, and you say, well, wait a minute, I thought this squiggly line that was this currency price should be going up here, but it's not. It's going down. Okay, I'll sell. That's it. That's your planning. Honest to God, that's all you have to do. Now, let's go back to the wood pile, because I want to show you something. Here we are at the wood pile. You notice the wood pile? You remember that, right? Okay, what do I have to do my fire? Do I have to worry about the guy who cut the wood? Do I have to worry about whether it's cured or not? Do I have to worry? What do I have to think about? I grab a hunk of that wood over there, and I carry it into the wood stove, and that's it. That's the process of normalized nature. So when we trade, why don't we follow that process? Why don't we look at the chart and see which direction the price is moving in? And because we're the tail, we just ride that price, because we're not the dog. We're not the one generating the movement of that price. So for us to look at fundamental analysis and technical analysis and all that other kind of stuff, is counter to what our job as the tail is to that trading process. I'm sorry, but that's the way it is. Now you say, oh, I can't do that. I've been blah, 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 blah. The reason that you can't do that or you don't believe it is because you've consumed all this information that's invalid for the Forex market. You've been told how much study and how much work you have to do on a daily basis. Where was the real work done with this wood pile? The guy that went out and cut the wood and brought it here and stacked it for me. What work do I have to do? I got to pick up a couple of logs and take it in and and light it on fire. Why should it be any different than when we trade currencies? Why should it be a big deal? Am I staying up at night saying, oh, man, I wonder how much wood I have left. I wonder if it's dry. I wonder if it's all cut to the 16-inch length that I require. You don't have to worry about any of that stuff. That's already been done. And here's the key to the video, if you've been smart enough to hang on to this point. We have a thing that some folks use. It's called a trading plan. The problem is that their trading plans are not real trading plans for the currency market and for most markets involved in that. In my fast track course that I have, we talk a little bit about the trading plan because it's pretty simple to get the idea. Once you have the basic coursework done, the first week of it or so, it's a 6-week program, and we try to get through the learning part in 4 weeks, and then the final 2 weeks is around just getting into the mud and loving the mud. It's like, don't wrestle with the pig because the pig likes it and you may get dirty, that kind of thing. Well, we get dirty and we like it. So we get into that really quickly. But early on in that process is looking at the structure of a valid trading plan. And the trading plan that I talk about that we should have as currency traders has 3 major parts to it, 3 major pieces. One of those pieces deals with these issues of that wood pile. It's the stuff that you do ahead of time in ordering the wood, stacking the wood, and doing all that stuff. And maybe you don't even do that. It's already done before. So there's certain things that go into that part of the trading plan. And I call those the static elements of your methodology. The things that don't change, but they're important. The wood pile doesn't change. The 16-inch length doesn't change. The only process that might change would be when I go out to get the wood. If it's raining or snowing, I may want to put a heavier jacket on or a hat or boots or something like that. But that's part of the active rules. See, you have things that you work out ahead of time, which is what all these fools think they have to do every freaking Sunday evening before the market kicks off or whatever. And we just do it once. We do it when we learn how to trade. We build the trading plan, and we have these methodologies that we use, which are, I hate to use the word static, but it's a pretty good word because those things don't change. You know, if you eat cereal every day, you probably put milk on it, right? That's not going to change. You're not going to pour apple cider on it tomorrow, or you're not going to pour your cup of coffee into your cereal. So you just sort of, the little kid at 6 years old has the general static rule built in that, oh, I want cereal today, so I'm going to combine that with milk. It's really simple. It's really easy. And so I would suggest to you that you look at your trading. Do you have a plan? Do you understand, as my last video, the difference between a system and a process? Do you understand that? And in looking at your trading itself, how much preparatory work do you think you need to do? What are the things that you can eliminate from that if you could solve that up front and put that into your trading plan and never have to think about it? In fact, when I work with my students in the fast track program, risk management is done and completed. We never, ever have to worry about risk management once that is structured. Because in my view, risk management is one of the more complicated parts of your trading, and you certainly don't want to try to be doing risk management in real time. Just as a hint as to what I feel is important to be presenting to someone who's going to take a course from me. These are the things that we work on, not freaking Bollinger Bands and fundamental analysis of what's the macroeconomic conditions created by the latest non-farm payroll, and how do we build these resistance zones, how do we identify those, and where do we go with the Fibonacci, all this crazy shit. I went through all that stuff because I trusted the people that I was watching videos from. They were successful, so I figured they could teach me. They couldn't, they didn't, and they didn't know what they were doing. I spent 40 years in real estate and was able to retire a millionaire because of that. So I got that down pretty good. And when I would not know something, I would go to somebody, a friend of mine who might be very successful in real estate, and I'd say, hey, I'm thinking about doing this, but this is the condition. What do you think I ought to do? And you go, well, have you looked at it this way? Did you do this? No, I didn't do that. He said, well, go try that. And the information I got from these people was always correct. It was always the right thing to do. But that isn't the case if you look at these people that are hawking at you in video land out there. They've all got these different ideas, and this is my system, and this is the way you should do it, and blah, 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 and they're all full of shit because they don't know how to educate. They don't know how to teach. I'm sorry I'm getting on my bandwagon here, but you need to be aware that I would hazard a guess to say that 95% of what they're teaching you is unnecessary. The fact that they use it and they're successful, well, that's fine. Maybe it took them 3 years or 10 years to get to the point where they can have $1 million and buy their Lambo and all that other kind of crap. That's not, when I have a student, that's not the goal that they have. If you're looking to buy a Lambo and live the good life, then you're not a currency student of mine because you're trading for the wrong purpose. You're trading for entertainment. This is not entertainment. This is dead serious stuff. This is your money. I'm 76 years old, and if I wouldn't have taken care of my money early on, I wouldn't be living in this house. I wouldn't be able to go up, as I said, to this really nice inn and spend the money that we're going to spend in order to have a good couple of days up in the White Mountains of New Hampshire. Those are things that you need to consider ahead of time and set yourself on the correct path. And that's what I try to do in the Fast Track program. It's an educationally sound process. I'm not pitching you to call me about taking a course from me. I'm telling you that the way that the course is structured is the way that it needs to be done. Do you need to take my course to do that? No. Sit down and figure it out for yourself. But if you've tried that and you're not having the success that you feel that you should have, maybe you need a little help. I'd be happy to talk with you about that at no charge. Just send me an email. And if you have some basic, simple questions, I'll help you with that. And that's fine. You don't have to buy anything from me. But if you want to talk about process and getting serious and earning an income that would be income replaceable from your job, income replaceable from your trading, that's serious trading. It's not trading done with a $10,000 or $20,000 account. You're going to be you're going to want to be trading $30,000 to $80,000 in order to do that. And you go, oh, I don't have $30,000. I could never spend $30,000. Good. Currency trading is not for you. Do you know if you want to trade stocks, you need at least $25,000 to trade, because if you're trading the stocks, you're considered making a certain number of trades a week. You're considered what's called a pattern day trader. And you must have $25,000 in your account to do that. So the people that contact me and say they want to trade with $1,000 and turn that into $5,000, and it's ludicrous. You're learning the wrong skills to accomplish what you really should be doing. How do I make enough money so I don't have to work? How do I make enough money so I'm laying the foundation while I work, that I'm building equity in my wealth? When I was doing real estate, I wasn't spending the money from the real estate. I was reinvesting the money from that real estate. And so a building, just in one of the last videos I talked about, I bought the building in 1978, I think, something like that. And 35 years later, I paid $73,000 for it, and 35 years later, I was holding a check for $600,000 for the sale of that building. That's what you want to have. At the end of the road, you want to have a clump of money. You don't want to spend the clumps of money as you go along. You don't want to take $1,000 and run that to 20,000 and then lose the 20 by trying to replicate that type of trading. That's not the way that you do it. I don't know. Send me an email. I'd be happy to get on a video conference with you and explain this stuff without ranting to you about it. And then you make the decision as to whether I know what I'm doing, and you'd want to talk about how I have my course structured. I will tell you how the course is structured. I will tell you what's in the course. You don't have to buy it. Maybe you can use that information to figure out how to improve your trading, and that would be great. I'm not interested in helping 100 people a month or having 1,000 people take my course. You know, if I have 10 people a year take the course, that's 10 people that have been really positively affected. If you'd like to be one of those, great. If you don't want to be one of those, but you'd like some of my information, I've got over 500 videos on the channel. Watch some of the videos. But if you want to talk with me, do that. Send me an email, and as long as I'm not dead by that time, I'd be happy to chat with you and share what I know with you to try to help you. Peter Rose, Longwood Currency Trading. Have a great day, and have a great trading day.